Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's Maverick here with another episode of The God of High School. So, last episode was quite interesting to say the least. We got some pretty decent, decent fights. Okay, not pretty decent, decent fights. The highlight for me of last episode was definitely when the old guy was fighting off the giant sword in the sky and using all that kind of weird cinematography and weird abilities, right? It could have been more epic, I feel, but still, it was interesting, and the concept was cool. And I love the commissioners. I really wish we could have saw a bit more of the commissioners fighting, because, you know, the avatars that they wield, the abilities that wield, that is definitely something that I am highly interested in. But we are instead focusing on Mori and his fight with Ipyo, right? Which I guess is to be expected. And of course, the biggest thing that happened last episode is that Ipyo apparently has awakened his own powers, his charyeok, his deity, his avatar, whatever you want to call it. And it's a kitsune, right? Or as they like to say in Korea, a gumiho, a nine-tail. And so I presume in this episode we're gonna see Mori's awakening as well, and get to see like what his abilities actually is, what deity he represents, what kind of avatar that he has. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, Gumiho. Alright. So this is more, Korean mythology, I feel. Yeah, because this is not in either Chinese or Japanese mythology. And I do recall that Koreans have, a big following of the fox spirit, the fox god. So that is mostly, I presume, mostly based on Korean mythology. I mean, it would make sense, right? This is a Korean work, a Korean series. Ugh. I'll be your contradiction. So catchy. Honestly, all the music from this season is pretty good, I feel. Like, all the anime that I'm watching this season, either the opening or the ending, or both, at least one of them, is something that I really dig. So anywho, this is episode 11. I believe this series goes for 13 episodes. So I've still got 3 episodes to go. So with that in mind, perhaps Mori isn't going to awaken in this episode. We still got time. I still feel like it's absolutely. Look at his ears! Oh my god! I mean, I know he's probably supposed to be all menacing, power overwhelming, and all that. But I'm just like, well, hello there, Foxy boy. Oh, so you're representing the god of the heavens? Okay. Look at his ears. She knows what's up. Ah, it looks so ridiculous. Oof. Oof. That's his air combo. I'm just looking at this from a fighting game perspective, right? This dude's just unleashed his ultimate. What? Okay, so I guess his ability is actually that of what was that thing called again? The eye that could copy abilities from Naruto. I forgot what it's called in English. But I gotta say, for being the effing key, you're certainly not really all that menacing. Oh. I mean, can somebody explain, like, why Mori is able to go up against someone who's already summoned his charyeok? I mean, I'm sure it still depends on your own abilities and whatnot. But doesn't that make Mori a little bit too OP? Oh, he's awakening? And there's that, there's that scene again. I still feel like he has something to do with the Monkey King, with Sun Wukong. Though being able to purify everything, that's... Who are... anyways. Oh wait, you literally changed the entire stadium? What? I agree. It's gonna be a staff, right? A bow. Not as in arrow and bow, but as in a sort of staff kind of bow. Where's it actually? But this flying in the air scene reminds me more of, yeah, the hand of Buddha? The hell? So it was actually the hand of Buddha? Similar to like what that park guy's doing. I mean, Mujin. Yeah, I shouldn't say park. Literally everybody is park here. So I guess maybe he's not the key after all. It's Mori. Aw, so we don't get to see any commissioner fight? Oh, and here's the unsung hero. Unsung heroes. Plural. Man, the nurses are hot! Oh, it was the first time you did this? Alright. I guess I'm a little bit too tough on him. And this guy came into here acting all like, oh, I have powers that you don't know about. What are you? Like two kindergartners or something? I guess these three kind of had the same dynamic. Uh, yeah, you still need to go to the finals. All right, what are you gonna say? He's like a big bro now to him. Oh, Mori actually? Okay. Oh, that's who that guy was. Okay. The guy who was ate by the shark. Huh? Oof. This dude! This dude! No chill at all! Like, what is wrong with you, man? Oh, they're actually at this hospital. Huh. What the hell is wrong with... Oh. Hmm. Ooh, you can observe them? Alright. Ooh. What the f... Well, I mean, at least she's okay, I guess? It actually healed her? Oh. Oh, 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 her legs. Oh my god. Okay, things just got super serious all of a sudden. I was about to ask, like, why aren't the commissioners over there, but, well, I guess they got more important things to do. Wait, he was the one that did this? Oof. Yeah, beat that guy up. Okay. Now that's getting hype here. Alright, see you guys after this. Woo boy. Well, I don't know what you guys were expecting from this episode, but I certainly wasn't expecting this to turn so dark so quickly. Like seriously, that Jegal Taek guy is he's some bad news, right? But let's talk about him a little bit later. Let's talk about first the fight between Mori and Ipyo, right? So, you know, at this point, even though it's not really confirmed yet, I'm 99% sure that Mori's Chakaliku, his avatar, his deity, whatever you want to call it, is actually the Monkey King Sun Kong. Okay, that little flashback of a scene in black and white, you know, in watercolor or whatever it is, before he awakened, if you will. You know, that scene, we actually saw that already, like many episodes ago, I think back in episode 4 or 5, and that was the first time I felt that he could be related to the Monkey King in some way. But, you know, that scene is actually really iconic. It's basically the scene where Sun Kong goes up to heaven and challenges the gods, right? He's basically being being judged, if you will, by the deities, by the gods, saying that he's done some bad stuff, and he's like, well, screw you guys, I'm off. And so, you know, he just went off, right? So I feel like that is pretty much that scene in essence. So I'm pretty sure that Mori's Chakariku is going to be that of Song Kong, right? Because now that we know of the existence of Chakariku and we know how, you know, the others utilize it by basically having a deity as sort of their source of power, if you will. And so then it kind of makes sense that, okay, so that's the relationship between this. And yeah, that makes sense, right? Now, the thing here, though, is that the actual ability that he used in this episode is more reminiscent of that from, who's that guy called again? Mujin, right? Mujin, the head of the commissioners, right? His sort of Buddha's fist, Buddha's palm, like that sort of ability. And yet, it actually is also related with Song Kong somehow. So this is a little bit of trivia, but the original concept of the Buddha's palm or the Buddha's hand actually originated from the legend of Song Kong, right? Because as legend goes, there was this. I think it was directly right after he made that big scene up in heaven. So he was like, you know, he basically made a ruckus, made a mess of the whole place, and then he was basically like, screw you guys, I'm off. And then, you know, because he had some pretty unique items on him, right? One would be his staff, which we actually kind of see here, which is the Jingu Bang, which basically is a staff that can enlarge or shrink to whatever dimensions that you want. So that's one of his special items, and the other item is a special sort of cloud that he basically sails on, like think magic carpet, except that it's a magic cloud, and then it can basically take him like thousands of kilometers in just one instance, right? So nobody can catch up to him, and yet one being could, and that would be the Buddha. So no matter how far away the Monkey King tried to run away, the Buddha was always right there. And eventually the Buddha caught him within its fist, within his palm. So that became the original concept and the origins of the Buddha's palm, or the Buddha's the Buddha's palm, which was later on used in many other works, wuxia works and wuxia movies as well. Probably the most famous one in Western world would probably be the movie Kung Fu, right, where the main character learns of the Buddha's palm at the very end, and well, that's basically a major thing in the story, right? So it is actually kind of related with the Monkey King somehow, but no, it does create a weird sort of a weird sort of paradox here, because if he's actually utilizing the powers of Sun Wukong, why is he able to use instead the Buddha's palm instead, right? That doesn't really make sense, but oh well, at least it's still sort of related, right? So I'm just gonna put that aside for now. And then, of course, we get to the entire scene between Jegal Taek and the rest of them, right? And man, I was already thinking this guy was pretty gnarly for the scene where he basically used his shark tooth or whatever to puncture through like the maid's hands, sort of like a sacrificial style, sort of like on the cross style. That and then pulling her in and right onto the other spikes that he put through the dude, like that in itself was already quite metal, like mashing them together and being like, okay, you guys love each other, well, go love each other in death, right? And then all those spikes going through. I already thought that scene was pretty gnarly and pretty metal, and yet to see them literally costing a leg and an arm to get out of the situation, like, I was seriously not expecting that. Like, sure, we saw already in the past, like, what he was willing to do, and indeed, this is a series that we've already seen have death in it, right? But to actually see people be crippled, and not just in the flashback, but in real time here, and, in this sort of fashion, like, that's pretty gnarly, especially since these aren't, like, some no-name characters as well. They are side characters, but they're still kinda, sorta, maybe semi-important side characters, so I was definitely surprised by that. And not to mention, it didn't really make sense to me why they were harmed in the process either, because, you know, you just see them getting wrapped up by this demonified person, I guess you could say, and getting ready to be absorbed, and yet when we see Jegal Taek eventually take him out, you know, with the shark bite and whatnot, that was against the dude, right? So how come the guys like across the room over there lost their arms and legs? Like, that doesn't really make sense. So I guess it kind of added to the shock of the scene, like, whoa, like, where did that come from? And yet, how? Right? How? Well, in any case, yeah, sucks to be them. I'm quite sure that even with the advanced nano technology that the God of High School Commission has, they're not going to be able to literally regrow an arm, right? So, yeah. And by the way, at the very end there, with Mujin saying that the God of High School is now officially closed or whatnot, does that mean like just to repel this attack and then eventually it's going to reopen once again? Or is this actually just the beginning of the actual series, right? So, I don't know. Perhaps we still got a ton of other volumes after this, in terms of the, well, I guess you can't really say volumes, but chapters. It's a webtoon, right? And right now we are just literally starting. The end of the tournament is not the end of everything, but there's actually more story to go on forwards, right? I guess that is a possibility, and that would explain why this series is so popular and beloved in Korea, and indeed globally as well. Otherwise, it would almost seem like we're nearing the end of the entire series, right? With the finals approaching, and then once they get their wish, and that's the series over, the end? I guess perhaps not. But in any case, I am glad that things are starting to pick up once again, and the scales, the abilities, and basically, you know, it's just elevating to another level, right? Of course, the sort of dark parts of it is elevating as well, but I do feel like that makes the series more entertaining overall. So, that was it for episode 11 of The God of High School. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next week as well. Bye-bye.